A major new report from Rolling Stone hit over the weekend saying that Donald Trump's legal team is already working on possible defenses for the former president should he be indicted by the Department of Justice. Rolling Stone spoke with 3 individuals close to Donald Trump who confirmed this, and they said they didn't just start working on these legal defenses. They've actually been working on them for quite some time, but things kind of picked up a little bit following Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony. It was at that point that I guess Donald Trump's lawyers realized that, yeah, things are getting pretty bad, indictments are possible, so they're workshopping a couple of different legal defenses. And we actually saw one of these about a week ago when Donald Trump got on Truth Social and was attacking the investigation over in Georgia, and he said that I was just doing my job as president, trying to make sure everything was blah, blah, blah. What he's doing there, of course, is trying to muddy the waters a little bit and tell everybody that, hey, I am the president, or was the president at the time. I have a right to go out there and make sure that the election was on the level, that there was no fraud. We were doing our due diligence as the leaders of this country. We didn't want you guys to get, defrauded. So we were doing this for you as part of our official duties. Now that may be the big defense that Donald Trump and his lawyers try to put forward. Again, Trump has already said this publicly on Truth Social, so it's clear that that is definitely one route they're going, and that may be their best route. I'm not saying it's a good one, but out of these other ones, that's probably the best way to go because according to the report, the other defenses are to just find somebody else to pin it all on. Probably Mark Meadows or Donald Trump's prior legal team. Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, because the report says that Donald Trump's lawyers are trying to claim advice of counsel, saying that he was only doing these things because his lawyers, again, led by Rudy Giuliani, were telling him, one, that it was legal, and John Eastman, let's throw him in there, he's part of it too. They were telling him it was legal, they were telling him he could do it, they were telling him they were fraud, so he was acting on advice of counsel. Now that's also actually a pretty big one, but it's also one of the easiest ones to shoot down in court. Because, yeah, Donald Trump's legal team was telling him that these things had happened. But everybody else, including other lawyers, were telling Donald Trump that it didn't happen. So, because we have these 2 conflicting groups, including the people who told Donald Trump, this is a lie, look at this data here, they're not being honest with you, Donald Trump likely won't be able to be successful using the advice of counsel defense. So we move on to the other one, right? Blame somebody else. And based on what we're seeing right now, that somebody else is likely to be Mark Meadows. Mark Meadows was the one pushing Donald Trump to do all this. After all, he was involved in all the talks, all the meetings, all the text messages, the fake elector scheme, every bit of it. Mark Meadows was always right there. So it does seem like it's pretty easy to pin all of this on Mark Meadows, right? And I'm sure you could. The problem is that's no legal defense for yourself for doing it, because we've already seen that happen with all of these Capitol rioters that have gone into court and said, hey, I was just doing it because Trump wanted me to do it. And the judges say, hey, cool defense, but you still did it. Yeah, we understand the culpability of these other individuals who may have egged you on, but at the same time, that doesn't excuse the fact that you went along with it. So again, blaming it on Mark Meadows, blaming it on anybody else is likely not going to be a successful defense for Donald Trump. Legal experts, by the way, have already picked apart those defenses, and if they can do it without even having all the documents in the case, I think it's going to be pretty easy for prosecutors to do the same thing in court. But of course, all of this hinges on whether or not Donald Trump ends up being criminally charged by the DOJ. It does look like things could be moving in that direction, but it's another one of those things that we're just going to have to wait and see. But if these are the defenses they want to roll with, if Trump does get indicted, I think this legal team is in for a shock when they go to court and try to make any one of these arguments that have already been picked apart.
This is Hattie.
Patty wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.